Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We have talked about MetaPWR a couple times, but today we are going to pop open the Essential Oil Blend bottle.
Yeah, and I will say the whole MetaPWR system, so it's a system of supplements and collagen powder, and then the oil as well, gum. It all has this oil as the base. But again, today's topic is just the essential oil.
Yes. So citrusy right up front. And then I get a little bit of the peppermint, spicy cinnamon back scent.
Yeah, I agree. Does this one have wild orange in it?
Let's see.
I know it has grapefruit, but I smell orange.
It has grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark. No wild orange.
No wild orange, but that combination smells like wild orange, apparently.
I agree.
So what's really interesting about this oil is that list of ingredients is the same list that was in Slim and Sassy, which was an oil that doTERRA's had for forever. But they basically changed the formula, so changed the amounts, and the studies that they have done comparing the two oils and the effectiveness of them is hugely different. And along with that, the smell and the taste is totally different. I did not love the taste of Slim and Sassy. I would occasionally put it in my coffee because it had more cinnamony flavor to it. But this one, I really like the taste and the smell of this one. Do you agree?
Totally agree. I did not like the scent or the taste at all of Slim and Sassy. And so that one, when I wanted to use it, I struggled with it. And I would end up using just one of the oils in it for the same purposes, grapefruit usually. But I really like the MetaPWR. It smells good. Again, that citrus with the mint and a little bit of the cinnamon, I think is something that you could put in your diffuser really easily as just a uplifting smell. But the taste is really good too. I saw you just go ahead and drop a few drops. I've got mine mixed in with my water.
Yeah, there's not very many oils that I like just straight out of the bottle into my mouth, but this is one. And I especially like it in the morning. So I'm already at this point a morning person, but this is the perfect, like, woo, wake me up because it's refreshing. It's the citrusy. I really like this oil.
Now, taste versus scent. And this is different taste directly in my mouth versus from my water too. When I drop it directly in my mouth, I get the ginger. I do not get the ginger when I smell it from the bottle or when I mix it with my water, but straight in my mouth, I definitely got the ginger.
That's funny. Yeah. Now that you say that, I do taste the ginger, but I feel like the flavor, it's pretty well balanced between all of them. I would say the mint is not as forward, but the mint is what like lingers in the mouth.
And gives you that fresh feeling. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've talked quite a bit now about how to use it internally. So add it to water, just put it directly in your mouth. I will say, if you're going to add it to your water, make sure that you're adding it to either glass or metal, because if you put it in like a plastic bottle or like a styrofoam cup, anything like that, the essential oils are going to eat through that. So make sure that you do it in a glass or a metal container if you're going to drink it.
We've talked about why we like the flavor of it and how we do use it internally, but do you want to talk a little bit about the science of why we would use this one internally?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know there are still ongoing studies, so we will need more clinical research to confirm all of this. But what they have found so far is that this synergistic blend of these particular essential oils help target and then reduce adipose fat cells when you ingest the oil. So the goal of the whole MetaPWR system is healthy metabolism. But when you ingest this, these essential oils are to help decrease your appetite and then can hopefully add to healthy weight management.
Yeah. And the adipose tissue part specifically is interesting. Like I definitely, before I went to school to become a nutritionist, I didn't know what adipose tissue was. But that is basically the main place that we carry adipose tissue is belly fat. It is the part of our body that specifically like has kind of bulky fat. And so most of us do want to reduce that, you know? And belly fat specifically, I would love to reduce belly fat. So if I can redirect where my nutrition goes and it's not being stored in my belly fat, then that's amazing. Like, give me more.
Yes. And when you were comparing the difference of Slim and Sassy versus MetaPWR and the studies that they had done between the two and why they changed the oil blend, the adipose tissue was the night and day. They showed slides of how Slim and Sassy was effective. It worked for what they were trying to achieve with the adipose cells. However, once they changed the oil blend, it was significantly improved with how they were able to reduce those adipose cells, which was really cool to see on imagery.
It really was cool. And I think we should probably put those pictures up on our Instagram and our Facebook account when this airs, just because, to see the science and the graphs and everything is pretty amazing. So we will share that with you there. So another way that this is super effective is using it topically, and especially as we're talking about adipose tissue, because you can use this directly on your skin in areas that you want to reduce adipose tissue. And I will add this one caveat. This does have oils in it that are sun sensitive. So like if you plan on going and laying out in a bikini, but you're also using this to rub on your belly fat, don't do that, because you're going to become more sensitive to the sun and probably burn your skin. But if you're not going to do that, if it's like it is here in Texas today, almost freezing degree weather, and I'm wearing many layers over my belly, then you could rub this directly on your belly. For me personally, my favorite way to do this is actually to combine it with dry brushing or body brushing. And so this is a whole process where you take a hard bristled brush and brush your body. And so without essential oils, this is just amazing at sloughing off dead skin, but you can add essential oils to it. And then not only are you taking off dry skin, but you're also helping push in the essential oils. And so I don't do this all the time. I definitely did it more often when MetaPWR first came out, but I personally like to take a shower first and then use both the essential oil, so a drop of MetaPWR, and I use coconut oil and rub it wherever I want to, and then brush over that. And that will help drive the oils into your skin, into your system. And that's been really effective. There's been a few different doTERRA people who have shown like before and afters where they were putting it on their thighs and stuff like that, and it made a difference. For me personally, I shared this in one of our other MetaPWR podcasts, but I was doing it on my belly and somehow my butt got smaller. So, I mean, for me personally, it hasn't worked out exactly how I wanted it to, but other people have had serious improvements and like met their goals in that. I also just this week, I can't remember where I heard this, but somebody was talking about adding it to the Yarrow Palm body lotion stuff. It's not lotion. What is that called? The body
serum.
Oil? Serum. Yeah. And so I think this was a recommendation from Laura Jacobs to add an entire bottle of MetaPWR oil to that serum and then apply it after showers. And apparently people are having amazing results with that too. But I haven't tried that one.
So I actually like that because I was going to add in just this other little tip or information that some oils are obviously thicker than others. This oil is fairly thin. So when you go to pour it into your hand, lots of drops can come out really quickly. And then it's orangish. And so I feel like now I'm kind of cupping my hand so that I'm not losing the oil over the sides of my hands before I get to rub it together and apply it where I want to before the body brushing. So the serum is a little bit thicker. I can see where that would help kind of contain it a little bit better so that I can apply it without feeling like it's going to drip everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to try that out. And then we're going to have to do another MetaPWR podcast in 2 months to give the update on that.
Hey, there's enough products, and I feel like they all need their own little information or description. And I think if people are going to use the system, they definitely want to be able to get the most out of the system and use it correctly. So when we were first introduced to all this information, it honestly felt really overwhelming about each of the individual products and then how to combine them all. So that first podcast was very informational based on what we had received, but we hadn't necessarily got to use the products very long. I feel like the longer I've used the products, the more I've learned about how they work for me personally, and then some tips and tricks to do with them too.
Yeah, totally agree.
I know
Totally
this is
agree.
one that people will also, we've talked about internal use, but I've seen that people will add a few drops of this to the collagen when they're making the drink. I personally like adding On Guard to my collagen drink. I feel like that changes the flavor in a nice way for me, but it is already has the MetaPWR blend in it. So I guess if you wanted to enhance that flavor, you could add a few drops of the oil with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. All right. Well, do you want to shift to the third way to use this, aromatic?
Sure. I can't say that I have used it this way, but honestly, with the exception of ginger, these are all oils that I've combined in the diffuser anyways. So to me, I think it would make a really delightful diffuser scent too.
Yeah. I actually haven't used it in the diffuser either, but you totally can. But I feel like just the fact that I'm using it in all these different ways, even applying it topically, I'm smelling it. And two things about it aromatically. So first of all, at convention, when this was released, we had one of the scientists tell Heather and I that there is another study underway with the aromatic benefits. But what he implied, and again, the study hasn't come out, don't know for sure, but he said that the study has to do with people who have disordered eating and how this can help that. So what I do know about it so far is just from an emotional standpoint, and this is in the Essential Emotions book or in the app, it talks about it, how it is the oil of body acceptance. And just some of the description that they have in here is really beautiful, just about how it helps you accept your body as it is now. And therefore you're treating your body better, respecting your body, and really giving yourself self-love, which makes me think of a quote I saw this past week about how a body that is not loved cannot heal. And you have to love yourself, respect yourself enough if you want to heal your body. And so obviously that's much broader than just this topic, but that has been running through my mind over and over again. And even as we're doing this Power to Be challenge that we talked about a few episodes ago, I like the fact that this blend brings intentionality into it. And it's like it opens you up to all these good things. And it's not the surface level, I can make my tummy or my butt smaller, but it's the like accepting your body where it is now, accepting your body as it changes, and just like creating a supportive environment for you to literally live in, because we live in our bodies. And so
let's go into that a little bit deeper. So the second oil in this blend is lemon, and lemon is a detoxing oil. So by using this internally, I think if you're kind of thinking about detoxing some of the negative stuff that's in your body, and then if you were, diffusing this, I feel like, okay, it's supposed to help curb hunger cravings and promote mindful eating. So you're taking it internally for the healthy metabolism. The lemon's helping detox some things. You're diffusing it to helpfully help you be able to be conscious and intentional, like you said, of the choices that you're making. You're applying it topically and using the body brush, not just to help with adipose tissue, but because it feels good and it's a form of self-love to your body. So yes, I like that you could kind of incorporate this one in multiple ways for that body positivity too.
Yeah. Like this is such a multifaceted oil that on the surface seems like it's simple, and it's so not simple.
Yeah, it's good. And I like it even better after we've had this conversation now.
Same. Maybe I'll start body brushing again.
I do like this one with body brushing. I tend to use cypress or things like that when I've body brushed in the past. But when I've used the MetaPWR, it's so refreshing. The smell alone just kind of feels uplifting. And then you get that tingle from the body brush as you're stimulating increased circulation to areas. And so I think this one pairs really well.
Yeah. Well, and again, going back to the detoxing part of this blend, body brushing is amazing at getting your lymphs to move, and your lymphs are basically like that whole system is what moves trash out of your body. So again, just supporting the way the body naturally works, improving it, kind of awesome.
Yeah. And if you think about allowing your brain to kind of pay attention to that too, that the detoxing is happening on a physical level, but can also happen on an emotional level too. If you're getting rid of all of that, then hopefully it helps put you in a better place mentally when it comes to food and your relationship with food too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else?
Obviously had a lot to say about this one, but I think I'm done.
I agree. I really thought this would be a short one, but I don't know. There's so many fascinating things about this oil. I'm so glad that we now have this. And I'm so glad that we got rid of Slim and Sassy. This is just a much better all around, better name, better product, more effective. Yeah. Excited to have MetaPWR.
Yes, agreed. The oil, you can buy all of these products individually, but it does come together as a system too. And I think, again, using them all as the system that they're intended for is probably best practice, but you can use them interchangeably and individually too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would recommend if you're getting started, at least start off with the entire system if you can afford it. I realize not everybody can, but that way you get to try everything in the product line. Like we both clearly like the taste, but if you don't like the taste, then getting the soft gels that literally has just 2 drops of this in it would be awesome because you can swallow it and you won't taste it. Or if you like the taste so much that you want to carry it around in your purse, then the beadlets are awesome to have. So again, getting the whole system will really give you an understanding of what you like, what you don't like, what you're going to use, that type of thing. All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to listen today. We'll have a brand new episode next Friday. Thanks so much for being part of our community.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.